News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Good morning. 10 o'clock, we have 44 degrees. Scattered showers possible this afternoon and this evening. Partly cloudy, breezy today with the high 52. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Federal food assistance benefits will go on hold starting tomorrow. Local leaders calling for an end to the federal government shutdown that is now entering day 31. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson.
I think that food share benefits should be available so that children and families in our community do not go hungry. So, yes, I think that government has a place to lift those facing crisis and disaster, to lift those folks up. That said, we still need a resolution.
Another casualty of the shutdown, Head Start programs.
Executive Director of the Wisconsin Head Start Association, Jenny Maurer, says Head Start programs in Sheboygan and southwest Wisconsin are at risk of shutting down.
There are children coming up next week that will not have access to care, and their families will not have a safe place for their children to go next week.
Maurer says if the government shutdown does not end in coming weeks, more programs could be forced to close.
In December, there are 3 more sets of children and staff that'll have these cascading impacts.
Sean Brenda, WTMJ News.
So who's getting the blame for the shutdown? Here's ABC's Jonathan Carl.
We have a new poll, and as far as the White House believes, they believe that it's Democrats that are paying the price for this. But our poll shows that 45% blame Trump and congressional Republicans, only 33% blaming Democrats, 22% saying they're not sure. But here's the other thing our poll shows. It shows increasing worry among Americans about the impact of this shutdown. 75% saying they are concerned.
President Trump wants Republicans to eliminate the Senate filibuster to help end the shutdown. Filibuster rule requires at least 60 senators to vote in favor of a bill for it to pass, allowing for a minority vote to block the bill. Many Republicans against removing the filibuster, saying it benefits the GOP when the Democrats are in power. FBI says it stopped a potential terror attack. In a post on X this morning, Director Kash Patel said multiple suspects have been arrested in Michigan. They were allegedly plotting a violent attack this weekend. Patel added more details will be forthcoming and thanked the men and women of FBI and law enforcement. Family of deceased Jeffrey Epstein victim Virginia Giuffre calling for a new investigation into the UK's Prince Andrew, who was stripped of his royal titles and evicted from his estate after it was revealed he kept in touch with Epstein following his sex trafficking conviction. ABC News royal contributor Victoria Murphy says the loss of royal title is extremely rare in the UK.
The last time a British royal had their title taken away was in the First World War, when the title was taken away from a prince who sided with Germany.
Andrew still 8th in line for the British throne. Milwaukee-based Fiserv saw its stock plunge 44% Wednesday, its biggest one-day fall on record. It comes after the financial services company slashed its annual outlook and announced a broad reshuffling across its senior ranks. Annex Wealth Management chief economist Brian Jacobson tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
So oftentimes the executives, they're going to talk about, well, what do you expect for the rest of the year and maybe for the path going forward? And that's where I think a lot of the disappointment was, is just a lot of uncertainty.
Fiserv stock currently down about 65% for the year. Remember to change your clocks this weekend. Daylight saving time ends Sunday as clocks fall back an hour to standard time. Time now for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 68 points, NASDAQ up 281, S&P 500 up 41 points. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
Do you have a clear advertising message that assures your potential customers will choose your business over others when they need your goods or services? Will you have time to nurture it so it stays interesting? Can you buy media effectively and cheap enough so that your business stays top of mind? You're a business owner, and we understand how busy you are. And that's why we do these very things to help our clients gain market share and grow their business. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small budget advertisers get better results. Making a big advertising budget work? To us, that's easy. We feel that our ability to make small advertising budgets work in a big way truly demonstrates we really do know what we're doing. And that's why we should talk. We'll take your advertising budget, put it to work, and if history tells us anything, it will be the best investment in your business that you've ever made. Go to Anderson-Smith.com, email me, and I'll call you in short order. Because small or big budget, we help advertisers get better results.
Are you frustrated with those trendy weight loss shots? Whether you've hit a plateau, can't handle the side effects, or watch the pounds creep back after stopping, there's a better way. The Milwaukee Weight Loss Program has helped thousands of people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks without expensive injections or uncomfortable side effects. Our doctor-developed program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast. Ready for real lasting results? Our caring team at Milwaukee Weight Loss is ready to help you achieve your weight loss goals. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. I dropped 40 pounds with Milwaukee Weight Loss. No crazy workouts, no meal kits or shakes, and definitely no meds or injections. They helped reset my metabolism, and the weight's actually stayed off. It's been a game changer for me. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Schedule your free consultation today by calling 262-393-2334 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Bucks won their second game in a row. Milwaukee beat the Golden State Warriors 120-110. Bucks wrap up their homestand Saturday against the Sacramento Kings. Packers defensive end Micah Parsons named NFC Defensive Player of the Month on Thursday. Parsons recording 4 sacks in October, including 3 in a win over the Cardinals. Green Bay will host the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. Wisconsin football team at its bye week. Badgers play November 8th against Washington at Camp Randall. Badgers Sports Update, sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more. Toronto Blue Jays 1 win away from a World Series title. Game 6 is scheduled for tonight in Toronto. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. I-43 south at Beecher, the right shoulder there blocked due to a disabled vehicle, and a little bit of slowing. I-41 southbound, Highway Q to the zoo. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Scattered showers this afternoon and this evening after a high of 52. That chance of scattered showers continues into the overnight hours with a low of 37. Scattered showers Saturday, maybe even some graupel. Partly sunny with a high 48. Partly cloudy on Sunday. A chance again for afternoon showers, a high 52. Then increasing sunshine on Monday, a high 57. Partly cloudy and 58 on Tuesday. 41 in Madison, 44 in Green Bay and in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
Oh, happy Halloween, everybody. Happy Friday. You know what that means? The guys are in the studio, which is sort of a rare occasion.
I'd say all four. When was the last time all 4 of us were in the studio?
A couple weeks ago. It hasn't been.
No, I think it was he was
September.
on vacation.
Yeah, probably. I was gone.
I don't think it's been since he got back from Sicily.
Somebody sent me an email when I was in Sicily, and I read it when I got back. Why don't you just call in? Like, I'm going to call in with wine in my system, and no, not going to happen.
It could make for a more entertaining show.
It could. Oh, is that an editorial comment? Is that what that is? Right out of the gates?
Maybe you're happier when you've got a little vino in you.
Oh, you say
Let's grumpy. Maybe you wear a costume if you had some vino in you.
Yes, that's not going to happen. I told you my horror story about Halloween costumes. It's hard to get past that. Anyway, Joseph Pecky, Democratic strategist. Bill McCoshen on the Republican side of the aisle. I predicted that the shutdown would last 30 days. What do we have, 30, 31?
30 today.
Yeah.
31 today.
Is it 31 today?
With... I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, and anybody can jump in here, any real signs of this ending anytime soon?
President Trump finally heard Bill McCoshen's advice.
Yeah.
You want to break it down?
Well, today the president called for ending the filibuster, using the nuclear option because then it would only take 51 votes to pass.
Yeah, Mike Johnson not a fan, though. He said this morning.
Yeah, and there are some people on the right who didn't like what I posted on X about it. And the truth is, the current version of the filibuster, which is related to the cloture, that started in 1917. It's not like it goes back 250 years like our country does. It was a creation in the early 1800s. The current version started in 1917, so it's a little more than 100 years old. In the 1960s, those Congresses made it too easy. They decided you didn't have to actually work on this cloture. You didn't have to stand up and actually filibuster. You could just put in a black card and say, we're not gonna vote on this.
And now you can just send an email.
Yeah,
If
you can
any
just
single
send an
senator
email.
sends an email.
It makes senators lazy. It takes incentive out of elections, in my opinion. if you got 41 votes, that's enough, right, to block things. That's a stupid way to think about this. You should want 50 votes. You should want 55 votes. But this was a tool to get people to work together. Now it's a tool of obstruction. That's all it's used for. So I think the president's got a point. What he's really saying, that isn't going to happen, sadly. There's probably a dozen Republicans who would never vote for changing the filibuster. But what he's really saying is, gentlemen, start your engines. It's time to get this done. And so I think something will happen next week.
So now that he's back, basically, if it's not going to be the nuclear option, you think he's actually going to try to negotiate with Democrats?
No. Well, maybe. He's not going to negotiate on the healthcare issue, but there may be some other things that he'd be willing to consider.
So when you say he's not going to negotiate on the healthcare issue, is that because he doesn't want to ACA subsidies to be extended?
I think that will be resolved before the end of the calendar year. I do, in separate legislation.
But that could be too late.
Well,
most experts are saying because the premiums are already going out.
The Congress has chosen not to work for a month. So they could come back to work and literally work and have worked until Christmas many years. So there's plenty of time to get that done. I do not believe that'll be part of the deal, but maybe there'll be some side deals for a few moderate Democrats to try and get their vote to get over the cloture vote. We'll see. But the president finally said it's time to get this done, in my opinion.
Joe, are you optimistic?
I'm not as optimistic as Bill. I believe the solve here is going to come down to a surprise gang shows up. Listened to a long conversation with former North Dakota Senator Heidi Heitkamp yesterday, who was reminding me of how this used to work, which was, the gang of 8, the gang of 12. You would have sort of reasonable non-leadership senators from both parties go into a room and figure it out. And then once you've got that critical mass, at this point you might need more like 16, then you go to leadership, then you go to the White House and say, this is the path to opening it. And given the distrust between certainly Democrats on the Hill and the White House, that might be the only way this actually happens, is if you have a couple of, like a Josh Hawley, who has certainly been, a thorn in the side of Republicans at points, but also like the White House will talk to him.
Right.
If somebody like a Josh Hawley takes a leadership role on a gang of 10 or 12 or 14, that might be the path, and it's to reopen government, to backfill SNAP to states, to have more guarantee than just someone's word that there's going to be a vote on the ACA premium tax credits. So that to me seems more likely as a way out of this than them actually blowing up the filibuster, because I don't think McConnell, Collins, Murkowski, and Tillis would go for that. And that
and there
means
might
they
be
don't have
5
50.
more that are on that list. But the pain starts tomorrow when the SNAP benefits end. Tomorrow will be the first time federal employees don't get their check.
Including staffers on the Hill,
right?
Which is unusual.
Right. So the pressure will ramp up starting tomorrow. And that's why I think that we are within 7 days of having some kind of an agreement.
A texter reminds us the ACA premiums for January must be paid in advance in December. We'll continue the conversation. Bill McCoshen, Joseph Pecky, an expanded 90-minute edition of the former Political Power Hour. Kristin, Steve, 620 WTMJ.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
What makes Hasselus mattress different?
Aside from employee-free showrooms, free next-day delivery, and prices that are way too low?
Yeah, besides that.
Hasselus Mattress is locally owned and managed by the same family.
So,
your money stays right here. And through Monday, you'll get a $248 credit towards a new Beautyrest, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta Perfect Sleeper just for shopping local.
Thanks.
For what?
For being different.
Find a no-hassle, employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
Abbey Window.
At Abbey Home, we're celebrating 15 years of making lives easier as a local woman-owned business. If you're looking to upgrade your bath or shower, Abbey Home can do it in as little as 1 day. We pull all the permits, tear everything down to the studs, and leave you with a beautiful lifetime warranted system that's turnkey, shower door and all. Right now, get 25% off your bath remodel with Abbey Home. And if somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl. Go to abbyhome.com today.
$1 for just $1 over cost. You can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. The dollar deal from Griffin, Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't.
Not combinable with other tire offers. Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Burke here. Hope you're having a great week. How about joining us for a great weekend? It's Experience Wisconsin. We visit different places around the state, from the fall colors at their peak still in the Northwoods to where things are just getting warmed up in far southern Wisconsin. On this week's Experience Wisconsin show, we visit a couple really special parts of our state. It is the town of Brookfield, and it's Stevens Point right in the central part of the state. Great ideas, great people, great fun. It's Experience Wisconsin every Saturday on WTMJ.
You know, back when I was a kid growing up in Brooklyn in the 60s and 70s, Halloween was simple. You threw on a plastic mask that cut your face like a deli slicer, tied with that little rubber band string that snapped by the time you get to the second house.
Oh, little old school Halloween. I forgot the guy's name. I'll give him credit. I found it on Facebook. It's there's like 4 minutes of this, and there's like all of these one-liners that are just perfect, describing how Halloween used to be and how it's not that way anymore.
It really spoke to Steve.
It spoke to me.
Spoke to me too.
All right, gentlemen, serious topic. SNAP benefits running out. Interesting comment. I'll go to you first, Bill. Congressman Van Orden said that the state should pick up the slack here. I don't think most Republicans would agree with them.
They can. It would be legal for the governor to do that.
Well, the legislature also has to agree to it.
No, they don't, because these are ARPA funds. The governor can do this all by himself without any. There is no legislative.
Well, then why
oversight.
because Felskowski on Upfront last weekend said she's like, I don't see the state stepping in. This is a federal problem.
The question she was asked by Matt was, will the state step in and use some of the $800 million surplus? And her answer was no.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
there's
talking about
actually
different,
$370 million still unexpended from the COVID funds that this would be an eligible activity if the governor chose to. And he said he's not going to do it. And I understand why. Let's see if his opinion changes next Friday. If we don't have a deal by next Friday, that may be the best answer.
But you're not opposed to that?
I'm not opposed to that, no.
I just want to make clear there has been situations in the past where this has become a flashpoint and a problem where families and kids go hungry. And so Congress did a smart thing, which was they created an emergency fund that an administration could dip into in the event of a shutdown to ensure that SNAP benefits still went out. The Trump administration is choosing not only to not do that, but to defend not doing that in court. There was a hearing yesterday. We may get a decision today. When the U.S. government thinks ahead and plans for contingencies and says, listen, if the politicians can't get their act together in the future, we still got to make sure people don't go hungry, and they create, $5 or $6 billion to help fill that gap. That's what that's for. The Trump administration choosing to leverage people going hungry for the politics of a shutdown is pretty gross.
All right,
I don't disagree.
so I was surprised when I saw the number of people. It's 42 million Americans. That's a big number. I actually thought it was half of that, and then I was corrected when I started reading about it. For all of those people who are sitting here, and Kristin and I talked about this a couple of days ago, there are not that many options, especially if you're part of that group that's not getting paid on top of that. And
Well, because the numbers have gone up because there are people, there are federal employees who are
Right.
not getting paid. So they're showing up to food banks for the first time.
So I guess from a political perspective, because that's really why you guys are here, Bill, if this thing lingers, if the shutdown continues, if people aren't being at least given some means to buy groceries or like live their lives in any whatever normal is for them, I have to think this has political ramifications. We're not that far away from midterms. I know it's next year, but I mean, come on.
I don't think either side is winning right now. Even on the Marquette poll this week, Democrats had a 6-point advantage, but the margin of error on the poll was 5, so it's just outside the margin. The national polling is, shows a tiny advantage potentially for Democrats. There's no winners here. And the worst option, in my opinion, to what you just said is there are some people who are saying if you see people shoplifting starting tomorrow, look the other way because it's not their fault. That's ridiculous, right? Somebody's paying for that, and the grocer, is getting hurt by that. So that's not an answer. That's not a credible answer. The answer is open the damn government. It's not that difficult, right? We've done 13 clean CRs over the last 4 years. Why can't we do this one, work on the ACA? if a few senators need a little love in their district, an earmark or two, fine. But you're not going to get $1.5 trillion in additional spending. It's not going to happen.
Bill is speaking to a point that I think is worth going in on, which is for all of the talk from Republicans about how they're tough on crime and they're, law and order. When people are going hungry, you are going to see an increase in crime.
100%
This is
you are.
a public safety issue.
It is.
So release the damn emergency funds and buy time so that not only are people fed, but communities are safer. Because what you also get in those examples you gave is like somebody's looking the other way, somebody's trying to be a hero or do the job they think they're there to do as security for a grocer. Now we have danger in communities, and we cannot have that. So release the funds. Hopefully the judge orders that and it happens so that communities aren't made less safe by inaction in Washington by Republicans who at the moment seem fine with premiums spiking. And to the politics of it, which was your question, I think what a lot of folks don't understand is that the growth in people who are on the Obamacare marketplace has come from red states. It is rural Americans, people represented by the Marjorie Taylor Greens in Congress. It is not like blue dot cities where the numbers have increased. These are Republican electeds constituents who are going to be hit by this. That is going to really come into focus tomorrow when people have to start, the process of signing up for health care.
Whether it's a clean CR or the emergency funds getting released, the first action that the House and then the Senate has to do is pass budget reform. This is ridiculous. We've lived through this, dozens of times in the last 2 decades, and there's no reason for it any of those times.
Joe, do you think there's Democratic support from the bill that Brian Steil in the House
Johnson.
and Ron Johnson in the Senate has proposed as far as taking the Wisconsin idea to the federal government?
I hope so. I don't know.
Okay.
But
You haven't heard
guys
anything.
heard me talk about it a couple weeks ago when Senator Johnson floated it. I think it
it's
makes
common sense.
Yeah.
And how does a John Ossoff in Georgia vote against that, right? I don't know how you go home and say, no, we would prefer to shut down the government to gain leverage versus the government continuing to operate at existing levels exactly the way Wisconsin operates.
Sanity must return to Washington, D.C. because hunger is not a partisan issue. Bill and Joe on Friday, Kristin and Steve, point taken, 620 WTMJ. Lots more to get to. We'll do it after this.
We all have one. That junk drawer, old keys, dead batteries, a phone charger from 2008. But somewhere in there are the tools you actually need. They're just buried in the clutter. For many people, their finances look the same way. Scattered, outdated, unproductive. A financial junk drawer. At Annex Wealth Management, we help you clean out that junk drawer. Organize what matters, eliminate what doesn't, and plan with purpose. And we'll do it as a fee-only fiduciary. Start today at AnnexWealth.com. That's Annex Wealth Management.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucks game. In 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on Bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
They saved over $50,000 after we sold their home at only 1.9%. You don't have to pay 6% to market and sell your home. Hundreds of Century 21 Benefit Realty clients will attest. You can get it all for only 1.9%. The more value your home has, the more important it is to find the best real estate commission and the marketing ability to get top dollar. And with Century 21 behind us, that's what we have. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. Half a century of marketing expertise joined with over 20 years of local market knowledge. Not to mention the savings you'll see after you get our best commission right up front, which, by the way, is only 1.9% on the listing side of your home. Join that together and you can be sure that you've chosen the right real estate experts who have the experience to market your home effectively and give you a commission that'll end up paying for things like new furniture. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Does your bathroom belong in a haunted house? Or maybe it's just time for a refresh. WTMJ and Sidex are back with the Boo beautiful bathroom contest. One lucky listener will win a tub or shower conversion valued up to $10,000. It's easy. Snap a pic of your scary shower, terrifying tub, or even just one you're tired of, and enter now at WTMJ.com. Sidex makes it easy to go from fright to fabulous.
When it rains, it pours. But sometimes it hails. Or worse.
That tornado warning again is for Fond du Lac and Dodge County. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now.
Keep us within reach for Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts.
Even if a tornado does not touch down, we know that there are powerful straight line winds.
On 620 WTMJ and WTMJ.com.
We used to bob for apples in a big bucket filled with spit and snot from all the other kids, and we never got sick. We had something called Mischief Night involving shaving cream, toilet paper, and eggs, not guns or knives.
Oh, I love that. That's Vic DiBattista. I'm guessing he's Italian. Got it.
Oh, you think? I'm thinking he's in New York.
Found it on...
Sounds like Curtis Sliwa.
Yeah, he does. Found it on Facebook, and we're going to scatter those throughout the show. It's sort of a fun look. There are extreme differences between how... Not you so much, Bill, but how I celebrated Halloween. Basically, here's the quick synopsis. Your parents said, get out of the house. They gave you a pillowcase. And
exactly.
In the dark, they didn't walk around with you. They
Nobody
just
had a
sent you out.
flashlight.
No flashlights.
How young were you when you started going out by yourself?
I don't know, 8.
Yeah, probably 8.
You know,
maybe
you
7.
fend for yourself. You got in fights with your buddies over candy. You traded candy. You were best friends at the end of the night. If you filled the bag, you went home and dumped it and filled it again.
And you could go till 8 o'clock. Get what you can get until 8 p.m.
It was the maddest. And then you'd probably eat half that bag before midnight. That's what it was. Now all these rules and this peanut stuff. And now people put signs on their houses of, oh, we have peanuts. Like, okay.
Well, if you're a Catholic, you have All Saints Day tomorrow. So, I mean, it was always a rough day at church the next day.
It is an example of how things have changed. Now, I'm having fun with this, obviously, because I love the fact that my grandkids get to celebrate Halloween and they enjoy it and they wear the costumes and stuff. But it's just a different way.
It wasn't commercialized, though, really.
No.
What's Max going as? Baseball player?
He's done baseball player, policeman, because he wants to be a policeman when he grows up,
Nice.
which doesn't surprise me. He's always surprising in his costume. He was a big Harry Potter guy, so he did that when he was younger.
You don't know what he is this year?
I don't know what he's doing this year, so well, I guess we'll find out. I don't know if I showed you the video. His mom and dad do two mega Halloween parties at their house. It's like going to a real haunted house. They have the figurines with the noise, and it's a whole deal.
I feel like you're really adopting the New York accent in like a little bit today. You've been inspired by Vic.
I do. I love that old school Italian
and
thing.
his daughter appears to be rebelling over his bah humbug.
I was going to say, there was something there. I was trying to figure out how to work that
She's
in.
pushing back hard, which doesn't surprise me as my oldest daughter.
Well, we're talking about New York. You know, the next time we see each other, we will have some election results. And you know what I say? Polling is noise. Election results are signal.
Yeah. And what will those results show, do you think?
I think Mom Donnie will win in New York. And I think both Cheryl and Spanberger will win the governorships. The question will be the margin and whether it is enough to force Republicans to the table to understand that they're losing on the politics. I think if both of those are like, you know, if like New Jersey is 7 or more and Virginia is 10 or more, I think it would make clear that the politics have turned from 2024.
Are there any other races you're watching for next Tuesday besides
There's a
those
special
three?
for Congress next month in Tennessee I'll be watching.
Okay.
But the governorships are the, you know, and like I hope and assume that the Democratic AG candidate in Virginia will lose.
That's the one I'm
which
watching.
will be the,
and I
kind
think
of the
that
split
one
ticket.
is more dependent on the top of the ticket. So if Spanberger wins, and I think she will as well, by 8 or 10, that could be enough for Jay Jones to win, believe it or not, in Virginia. But if Winsome Earl Sears can keep it to 6 or 7, I think that Jason Miyares gets reelected.
Any of these races a referendum on Trump or the administration?
They'll try and make them that, but I
don't know that
think
they're
so.
referenda, but they speak to the politics and the mood of the country. Because a year ago when people went to the polls, they were frustrated by high prices. At the end of the day, that's what it was. And so New Jersey, like, Kamala won, but it went much closer than it had been. And so if New Jersey kind of snaps back to its historical Democratic performance, that could be a signal to Republicans that they're in trouble.
I think Chitterelli has a chance. He's the best chance for Republicans on Tuesday night, but I think in this case, they're not really a referendum either way.
All right, another hour of the guys on this Friday. From the texter, Milwaukee doing nighttime trick-or-treating tonight. First time in 60 years. All right, we have local news coming up. Here's now ABC.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The government shutdown is now on day 31. What do the American people think? Here's ABC national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
A third of those surveyed in the ABC News Washington Post Ipsos poll say Democrats are to blame for the shutdown. But more, 45%, say Republicans are mainly responsible. The remainder, 23%, aren't sure. Overall, more than 6 in 10 Americans now say they disapprove of the president's management of the federal government. Trump's approval on that score has dipped to 36%.
President Trump calling on the Senate to scrap the filibuster so the Republican majority could bypass Democrats and reopen the government. Republicans have been unwilling to change the rules to allow just a simple majority to get bills passed out of fear of what would happen if the Democrats take control. The last time a British royal had their title taken away was in the First World War. This time it happened overnight. Prince Charles stripping Andrew of his prince title over his association with Jeffrey Epstein. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. I'm Connie Weber. Food share benefits will be delayed as the government shutdown continues. That'll affect 700,000 people across the state. City of Milwaukee and local partners are collecting food to help those in need. Find out more by texting food to the WTMJ Siding Unlimited talk and text line 855-616-1620. Quick thinking by a student led to the arrest of a man with a gun near Fond du Lac High School Thursday afternoon. Student reported a man was near a school pond with a gun in his waistband. He ran off when police got there, but was later found and arrested. A gun and loaded magazine were found near the pond. Another $1 billion data center project proposed for Wisconsin, this time in Dane County. Data center operator QTS announced a $50 million fund Dane County education programs, while also submitting a development plan for 5 data centers located in DeForest Village and town of Vienna. To address energy concerns, QTS plans to pay for all project energy and a commitment to use a closed-loop cooling system. The DeForest Village Board will oversee the company's zoning application in November. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow is up 77 points, 47,599. NASDAQ up 269 at 23,850. S&P 500 up 39 points at 6,861. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. No major delays, just a couple of broken down vehicles. One is going to be I-41 North, about a half mile beyond the ramp from North Avenue. That vehicle is off right. There is one off left blocking the shoulder. 94 West, almost a mile beyond the ramp from Highway 100. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. We've got showers in the forecast pretty much through Saturday. Scattered showers possible today in the afternoon and evening. Partly cloudy, breezy, high 52. Overnight low tonight, 37, with that chance of scattered showers lingering into tomorrow. We could even see some graupel on Saturday. Partly sunny with a high 48. Partly cloudy Sunday again, a chance of afternoon and evening showers, high 52. Then more sunshine Monday, a little milder temperatures too, 57 for the high. Partly cloudy and 58 on Tuesday. 43 in Madison, 46 in Green Bay, 45 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:33.
Why settle for just a job when you can have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee new car dealer members have service technicians, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam member new car dealer.
For current great-paying job opportunities, visit adam.com/jobs. That's ADAMM.com/jobs.
At Advent, nasal congestion and sinus infections can be solved with an in-office 20-minute procedure. Elsewhere, expect surgery.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
Now through Wednesday, save on 14.75 to 29.45 ounce selected varieties Culinary Circle pizza, 2 for $10. 46 to 48 ounce selected varieties Blue Bunny dairy dessert, $3.99. 4 to 6 count selected varieties Dan & Light and Fit or Oikos multi-pack yogurt, 2 for $7. Gallon selected varieties Prairie Farms White.
Chicago on December 7th.
Or autographed footballs or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
Enter by November 12th.
And candy? You got candy. Chocolate, caramel, maybe an apple from the weird neighbor. But that's it. No one had a panic attack about razor blades in the apples. We didn't even check. We didn't care. We bit right in. Oh, Ma, look, I'm bleeding. Yeah, happy Halloween.
Oh, when moms were tougher than they are now, in my opinion. Anyway, Bill,
shots fired.
You sure you don't want to revise and extend those remarks, Mr. Scaffidi?
Present company excluded.
And your daughters? Your daughter's tough?
Anyway, let's do this. The president was on a trip to Asia.
Yeah,
he did a lot of things. I would say that if you're a Trump supporter, you would like some of the things he did. And if you're a farmer, and I just talked to 2 farmers last week, the soybean deal apparently with China to start resuming buying some of those soybeans was good news. There was some news on the tariffs, cutting those in half with China. Bill, you're a Republican. How do you assess the president's trip to Asia?
I think it was successful. Too soon to tell on China because we don't know all the details. There appears to be good news for not only Wisconsin farmers, but American farmers on the soybean deal and some other commodities. But it gets back to levels that China was purchasing. It's not beyond that. So I think long term we need to get beyond that. But I give him credit. I mean, not only did the guy knock out 5 days in multiple countries that are halfway around the world, but then he came back and handed out Halloween candy yesterday. I mean, Joe Biden would be in a coma for the next 3 weeks if he had done a trip like that. I remember that was his excuse for losing the debate so badly to Donald Trump, as he had just come back from a foreign trip 10 days earlier.
Because passing out Halloween candy is as rigorous as a debate.
It is.
Yeah. And the president,
very rigorous.
The president did put that piece of candy on the kid's bucket head again.
He did.
2 years in a row.
Listen, the guy's got energy that we haven't seen in a long time in the White House, and he continues to work on behalf of the American people. I want to know more about the details of this. He had Scott Bessent with him. He had Howard Lutnick with him. Those are his 2 key economic guys. I've said for some time on this show, it's time to focus exclusively on the economy. Let's get this thing humming, and hopefully these deals will be part of that.
Where have all the China hawks gone? Joe Biden, under his administration, they stopped the export of the most powerful AI chips to China because we are in an AI race with China. This deal that Trump just got is for China to buy 12 million pounds of soybeans this year and then 25 million for the next 3 years.
Right.
And in exchange, they got back access to the chips. And in 2024, China bought 27 million pounds of soybeans. So China wins, right? Like, they were able to use economic leverage against this president, who then goes out and says, yay, we did it. What are we doing? This is not serious, but it is like the Trumpiest thing ever, where anytime he declares victory, people go, oh, yeah, this is a win. No, it's not, because we're selling fewer soybeans this year. That's going to impact our farmers. And now they have access once again to the most powerful AI chips when we're in an AI chip war with them. That's a loss. How do you slice that otherwise?
Yeah, and on the tariffs thing, let's be honest, he created the problem in the first place, because we didn't have this tariff. It should be, well, unless you think that the world was plotting and scheming against us. I think that's his argument. Looking at this trip and how he returns, one, he goes away when we're having a shutdown, which is sort of, I would say, not the best move politically as an American citizen. But he comes back, and you said earlier you think he's going to get back into this conversation.
I do.
That's how you see this? He's going to jump back in and settle it?
I think I've said all along. I've worked for an executive. I worked for a governor for 10 years. In a situation like this, the executive is the one that can bring closure to the deal. And so I think he will be involved at some level over the next 5 or 6 days. And my prediction today is this will be solved by the time we're on the air next Friday.
Really?
I could be proven wrong. It won't be solved by Tuesday. I think there's sadly some political reasons to not have it solved before those elections on Tuesday, but it wouldn't surprise me if it got solved Wednesday or Thursday.
I think it's going to take a little more time than that. The other piece of this that is now in the mix is the Wall Street Journal is reporting that the U.S. is imminently going to start launching strikes inside Venezuela. So the so-called peace president, the guy who wants the Nobel Prize, is about to start a war in South America. And if you're running a war, how much time do you have to go chop it up with folks from the Hill?
Real quick, you mentioned Joe Biden. What do you think about the current president's highly personal, highly, in my world, offensive comments about the previous president that he put on Truth Social yesterday?
I didn't see him, to be honest.
I didn't see him either. I hadn't heard about that.
I'll dig him up during the break. It's an embarrassment to me that a president would issue a post.
Is it more embarrassing than what this White House has done, putting a photo of an auto pen signature in a row with 46 other American presidents? He is the troll in chief. It is always disgusting. You can always count on him to say the least politic and polite thing that you wouldn't accept in good company.
He is Joseph Pecky, Bill McCoshen, Kristin, and Steve. After the break, Duck and Cover 2.0. President had some comments on Truth Social about nuclear options and weapons and testing. We'll get to that after this on 620 WTMJ.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to GeisDoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers. AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
The fall home buying season is officially here, which sometimes means less competition among home buyers, but that doesn't seem to be the case this year, with most listings still getting multiple offers. Now, a lot of home shoppers just go with their bank for their pre-approval. But if you'd like to get into your new home for the holidays, now's the time to get started with a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet, or switch if you started somewhere else. Not only will we put a $2,000 guarantee behind our fully verified pre-approval, we'll also work with you and your real estate agent to craft offers that get accepted over the rest. Our favorite tool is to see if we can get an appraisal waiver for the property you're trying to buy. Sure, that takes more effort on our part, but adding those magic words, "no appraisal required," to your property-specific pre-approval can be the difference maker. And our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the banks for the same rate. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button today at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Hey, I've got a great idea. After a long week, relax with an ice-cold beverage and a great Friday fish fry at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club near Holy Hill. WTMJ's John Mercure here. With the fall colors here, the drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest is one of the most beautiful in Wisconsin. And the haddock fish fry is all you care to eat. All other dinners are buy one, get one free tonight and this weekend. Order your favorite steak, pan-fried walleye, salmon, pasta. I love the ribs, big fresh salad, even steak and lobster, any entree, all buy one, get one free. Desserts are also buy one, get one free. I really love that. De-stress with an old-fashioned, choose from over 20 bourbons, 100 wines, 8 unique dining rooms, and your second dinner is free. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the Holy Hill Shrine, an easy drive from anywhere in our area. Now serving a Saturday fall lunch from 11 till 2. Tables are open. Call and reserve your free dinner. Arrive early. Serving starts at 4. It's the Fox and Hounds.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Now, these kids got it made. They don't even walk anymore. Parents, drive them around in SUVs with pumpkin stickers on the windows. You know, when I was a kid, you went out at sunset, didn't come home until you had a pillowcase full of candy or frostbite.
The amazing Vic DiBattista found it on Facebook. An Italian guy from New York. Gotta love that. He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
He's speaking to the 70s.
All right. So one of the other things that the president tweeted out, or not tweeted, posted on.
He talked about it
on Truth Social was that he's ordered, whatever that means, the United States to resume nuclear testing immediately. It's something we haven't done in 3+ decades.
Can we talk about his lack of understanding of the basic way that this works?
Because you can talk about whatever you want.
Because
he
ordered the Department of War, which was what he calls the Department of Defense to do it, which tells me he doesn't know that it would be the Department of Energy, who is in control of our nuclear stockpile, that would be doing the testing. Great start.
As I said, there's a lot of superficiality in the president's, his words versus what we can actually do or what he should be doing. Bill, I mean, this idea that we're going to resume testing nuclear weapons, does it accelerate or sort of bring back echoes of what happened in the 50s, 60s, 70s?
When it first came out, and I had to do some homework for this segment today, when it first came out the day before he met with President Xi, I considered it a leverage point, right? He's going into negotiations with China, and this is some kind of leverage. It didn't make any other sense to me. I've researched it a little bit, and it's a global non-testing agreement that we're part of. The only country who's not in that anymore is Russia.
Right. They withdrew in 2023.
Imagine, are there reasons potentially to test missiles to make sure they're still operating? Maybe. Or new technologies that could be better or more efficient than the old ones? Maybe. But I can't imagine that's our highest priority right now. I think there's too many other things going on in the country that are far more important than that. And even in a geopolitical global situation, I think getting agreements, finalized agreements, not quote unquote structures or what does Scott Besson call them? Parameters of agreements.
Right.
I'm sort of done with those. It's time for details. Let's have some certainty. Markets like certainty. Investors like certainty. Businesses absolutely like certainty. They can't exist without it. So let's get some calmness and some certainty and focus on what's important.
So do you think this is just
bluster?
Do you think it's just like a thing for the week? We talk about it and there's no actual follow through?
Yeah. I'd be surprised if we heard about it again anytime soon.
All right.
I think it speaks to, I hope it speaks to the president's growing frustration with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
So do I.
Because this was all sort of kicked off by Russia announcing that it had tested some hypersonic or supersonic delivery vehicles, and there has been concern that Russia has been, testing all kinds of stuff. And in the context of they have launched the first land war in Europe since World War II, and people like myself who want the U.S. to do what they can to help Ukraine fight off this invasion, I am happy any day Donald Trump moves further away from the Russian position, which is just like, let's call it, and they get that land, and closer to the position of the Ukrainian people and President Zelensky, who say this was an invasion, they need to turn around and go home. So that's my hope and the best possible outcome.
You don't think it's because he watched House of Dynamite?
I don't. I did, and you and your husband did as well. Yes. If you're wondering what to make of all this, I will give my strongest recommendation, 10 out of 10, to watching the new movie House of Dynamite on Netflix.
Let's get you on record. Either one of you think the president will authorize through the Department of Energy or however the process goes to actually blow up nuclear weapons in the western United States or at some other location in the next 2 years?
I think he might try, but I don't think it'll ultimately happen. I don't think we're going to see a mushroom cloud, blow up some island.
It's a bad look and a hell of a campaign ad by the other side if he did it.
I just don't see it. I hope Joe's right about Russia. I raised Russia myself. I don't know if it's about them or China, but it's. I think it won't last long.
All right, let's wind the hour with a conversation about ice and not the kind you put in your drinks. That's all coming up next on 620 WTMJ.
Does your bathroom belong in a haunted house? Or maybe it's just time for a refresh. WTMJ and Sidex are back with the Boo beautiful bathroom contest. One lucky listener will win a tub or shower conversion valued up to $10,000. It's easy. Snap a pic of your scary shower, terrifying tub, or even just one you're tired of. And enter now at WTMJ.com. Sidex makes it easy to go from fright to fabulous.
It's cruise deal season at Fox World Travel, and these savings are making waves. Set sail in style with exclusive offers from top cruise lines like Viking, Avalon Waterways, Princess Cruises, Celebrity, and Holland America. Ocean or river, Europe or Caribbean, we've got extra savings and special perks just for you. These deals won't stay afloat forever. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com before they sail away.
Hey, moms, dads, grandparents, celebrate Halloween today with your kids at the Mine Shaft Family Restaurant in Hartford. John Mercure here from WTMJ. I absolutely love the Mine Shaft. One of our favorite places. It's super affordable and a ton of fun for the kids. I took my kids there. The Halloween decorations are awesome, and the staff will be in costume. Bring your kids in their costumes today. The Friday, all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry is $7.99. You don't need to pay $16 or more. Don't do it. Your kids can safely play in the huge game room, quietly tucked away from the dining area while you finish up your dinner, maybe have an after-dinner cocktail. Kids menu starts at $3.99. Relax with an old-fashioned, a cold brew, or a glass of wine. It's the weekend. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh near the EAA. Check out the Friday all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry, $7.99. Big value. The Saturday all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet is under $10. It's the amazing Mine Shaft. Happy Halloween.
We all have one. That junk drawer, old keys, dead batteries, a phone charger from 2008. But somewhere in there are the tools you actually need. They're just buried in the clutter. For many people, their finances look the same way. Scattered, outdated, unproductive. A financial junk drawer. At Annex Wealth Management, we help you clean out that junk drawer. Organize what matters, eliminate what doesn't, and plan with purpose. And we'll do it as a fee-only fiduciary. Start today at AnnexWealth.com. That's Annex Wealth Management.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Comfortable locations, comfortable people. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Liddy Collins. The latest in news.
OpenAI's Stargate project. Am I reading this right? They're going to create thousands of jobs?
Entertainment.
The internet said this is the lead. Detective. He just wandered into the frame.
And more.
Dr. Mehmet Oz, you're a medical doctor. Have you found yourself disagreeing with Robert Kennedy Jr.?
Every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
And the decorations now, don't even get me started with that. These people got 10-foot skeletons, fog machines, synchronized light shows. Looks like Universal Studios. When I was a kid, you had one pumpkin and maybe a paper witch taped to the window. That was it.
That was it.
He's good.
Paper witch taped to the window?
Oh, yeah, because we probably made them in school.
Right.
And then your mom
Exactly
was
right.
so proud, and they weren't even,
Exactly
trust
right.
me, I knew my art skills. They weren't even good looking. Slapped at it with some Scotch tape on the front window.
That
was
you
the
were open for business.
If you're lucky.
Ask your parents.
If you're lucky, each kid got a pumpkin. Because there was years you got one pumpkin for all the damn kids. And we
That's
had 4
right.
kids.
That's right.
Who
we
got
had
to
8.
decide what the design of the pumpkin was?
Probably my dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
not you as the
He's not
oldest?
trust me, he had 4 boys. He's not giving any of us a knife.
I seem to recall my dad slicing himself pretty good.
Yeah. Well,
one
my
time
dad
in the
was good
kitchen.
at cutting his hands up, and I inherited that. I have got so many stitches in my 2 hands. Thank you, Dad. All right. We mentioned it before the break. There's ICE deportations, all those policies are by this administration. It's a big topic. One of the things that bothers me, and I like to look at things long term. One of the things this administration is going to face at some point, years down the road, the people that work for this administration, maybe even this president, is how you conducted these things. The lack of sort of following through the basic law of the land, the processes that have been in place for a long time. Tracking down people in Menards parking lots and,
following moms into schools.
Well, not only that, ProPublica just published 170 people who are American citizens have been detained by ICE. And apparently the government doesn't track how many citizens are held by immigration agents, but ProPublica found this, and more than 20 of them were reported for being held for over a day without being able to call their loved ones or a lawyer, and in some cases their families couldn't find them.
The state is infringing upon the liberty of American citizens without due process. That, like, just that alone should make everyone rethink this entire conversation. It shouldn't be okay for one American citizen to spend one moment unlawfully detained without access to an attorney is a grave violation of what is supposed to make this country great.
Bill.
I would say two things can be true, as my friend Joe often says. We had an election last November on this immigration topic, and Donald Trump won. 77 million people voted for him. Having said that, I would not tell the Milwaukee Police Department, the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Department, or ICE how to do their job. However, there are protocols in place in all three of those institutions that have to be followed. The people who are serving in those roles will be held to account at some point in time. So I would encourage them, do this the right way, right? Be humane, do it the way, give people due process, do it the right way, because there could be consequences in 3.5 years when there's a different administration. So do not operate with impunity because, every action will have a reaction at some point.
What about politically? Do you think this plays with the majority of people as more and more videos get out of what the aggression tactics look like, how that flips people's votes and be like, this is not what I voted for?
It could. It could. I mean, there are some polls that show that, people still want to deport those who are here illegally, but they want it done fairly and justly.
Well, because that's the thing, right? If we know that Obama was the deporter in chief, right?
3 million.
But there was never, I know, we had a break, but there wasn't this kind of reaction because it wasn't these tactics.
Right.
All right.
Bill McCoshen, Kristin, Joseph Pecky, Steve. It is Friday. Got a bonus half hour with the guys and Kristin after this news update at the top of the hour right here on 620 WTMJ.
I'm John Mercure here with Dr. Kenneth Berg, an orthopedic surgeon at the Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. Dr. Berg, good to see you. Thank you so much for doing this.
John, thanks for having me.
Hip arthritis, hip replacement, it's a thing that seems to be more prevalent as we're more active and we grow older. Tell us about your specialty and how you attack this sort of problem.
Patient comes in the office, complains of hip pain. It starts with a history, then a physical exam, maybe x-ray, and maybe even an MRI of the hip. Common diagnosis we encounter is degenerative hip arthritis.
Can you tell us briefly about the importance of imaging? It's not right away you make an appointment at OHAU and you're scheduled for surgery.
After we establish a relationship with the patient and we determine that they have hip arthritis that's resulting in their pain, we go through the treatment options, whether it's avoiding the activity that makes your joint hurt or over-the-counter Tylenol, anti-inflammatories, and potentially physical therapy. And at the Orthopedic Hospital, we have multiple physical therapy options. And one nice option is we have aquatic therapy at one of our locations. And we talk about injections. And if all else fails and we tried everything under the sun, then we talk about surgery.
How has hip surgery evolved?
In my training, we started to do the anterior hip replacement when I was in my residency where we learned how to do orthopedics. And that became probably the most common way we did it. And the difference between an anterior hip replacement versus the other traditional ways is that we do the incision from the front of the hip and we avoid cutting muscle and instead we spread it and it's minimally invasive.
One of the things I love about Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin is that you want people to get back to doing the things they love, whether it's golf or pickleball or just playing with their grandkid in the yard without pain.
That is always our end goal, whether it's non-operative care or operative care. My goal is for patients to come into my office and say, "Doctor, I can't do this because my hip hurts." And at the end of treatment, they say, "I can do it and my hip doesn't hurt."
Their facilities are modern and gorgeous. Their people are incredibly talented. Go to the website, ohow.com, OHOW.com. Hit request an appointment and start your path to feeling better and doing the things you want. Dr. Kenneth Berg with Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. Thank you so much, Dr. Berg.
You're welcome.
Marty's Pizza in Delafield has expanded its delivery zone. Yep, we're sending our heated oven delivery trucks out farther than ever and expanding our footprint. Check out martyspizza.net to find out if you're covered, and we'll send out one of our fleet ASAP to get you great pizza, subs, salads, or our Italian entrees. And for parties of 50 or more, heck, we'll deliver almost anywhere. Just give us a call, and we'll see how we can make it happen for your large group gathering.
Marty's Pizza.
Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
11 o'clock. We have 44 degrees. Look for scattered showers this afternoon and this evening. Partly cloudy and breezy today with a high 52. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Federal judge may force the Trump administration to fund a food assistance program while the government remains shut down. A Massachusetts judge heard a lawsuit Thursday brought by 25 Democratic-led states hoping to compel the administration to partially fund the SNAP program used by 42 million low-income Americans. It's set to expire on Saturday unless the government reopens. Local leaders are concerned. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley.
Again, we should not be playing politics with people's livelihoods. It's simply not okay. We're going to make sure that we look out for our neighbors. We're going to make sure that we are there in those times of needs. And I'm extremely grateful to the community partners and the individuals who are shouldering much of this burden to help support our entire community.
City of Milwaukee and local partners are collecting food to help those in need. Find out more by texting food to the WTMJ Sighting Unlimited Talk and Text line 855-616-1620. Head of the FBI says it prevented a suspected terror attack in Michigan. ABC's Luke Barr has the latest.
The FBI director tweeting this morning that they thwarted a potential terror attack over Halloween weekend, and he thanked the men and women from the FBI. He said that the FBI arrested multiple subjects in Michigan, and our affiliate saw some FBI agents outside of homes in Dearborn, Michigan. The FBI in Detroit confirmed that that action was happening in the cities of Dearborn and Inkster. There is currently no threat, according to the spokesperson.
Director Kash Patel added more details will be forthcoming. Some Chicago neighborhoods creating safe trick-or-treating spaces this Halloween as they fear immigration raids.
Governor J.B. Pritzker asked the feds to temporarily suspend immigration enforcement operations this weekend, but Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem shot that down.
No, we're absolutely not willing to put on pause any work that we will do to keep communities safe.
So parents and community leaders got the city's permission to close off streets and post volunteers at intersections. Little Village Community Council President Baltazar Enriquez organized a trick-or-treat zone so kids can
have a good old time and not be afraid.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Plans to remove lead dust from Milwaukee Public Schools may be done before December. MPS Deputy Superintendent Eduardo Galvan says cleaning has moved ahead of schedule.
34 of the 50 schools in the second tier have already been completed. This is on track to be completed 1 month earlier than our anticipated deadline. So again, I want to take a moment to thank our facilities and maintenance team for all the hard work that they've been doing, and we are ahead of schedule on that, and barring no setbacks, we'll move on to that final stage.
50 schools built between 1950 and 1978 could now be fully clean by mid-November. Remember to roll back your clocks this weekend.
Daylight saving time and Sunday as clocks fall back an hour to standard time. Wisconsin emergency management officials say it's also a good time to fall back on safety and emergency preparedness. Check and replace batteries in your smoke detectors and carbon monoxide alarms. As heating systems kick into full gear, have your furnaces and chimneys professionally inspected. And if you have an emergency kit at home, check for any expired products. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
And celebrating the birthday of the man behind the bronze fonts.
These happy days are... Henry Winkler starred as Arthur Fonzarelli in Happy Days, a 1950s sitcom set in Milwaukee. The role is memorialized in the famed statue on Milwaukee's Riverwalk. The birthday celebration included a mayoral proclamation of Henry Winkler Day and a hyper-realistic cake replica of the Fonz. Kimberly Adams made the cake. She tells WTMJ.
It's amazing. I was so happy when they called me. I was so excited because I used to watch Happy Days. Yes, I'm a huge fan, and I was so excited to make it.
The bronze Fonz has been a Milwaukee landmark since 2008. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money. In the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update, Dow is now down 27 points, NASDAQ up 157, S&P 500 up 16. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:04.
Half a century of marketing expertise joined with over 20 years of local market knowledge. Not to mention the savings you'll see after you get our best commission right up front, which, by the way, is only 1.9% on the listing side of your home. Join that together and you can be sure that you've chosen the right real estate experts who have the experience to market your home effectively and give you a commission that'll end up paying for things like new furniture. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. They saved over $50,000 after we sold their home at only 1.9%. You don't have to pay 6% to market and sell your home. Hundreds of Century 21 Benefit Realty clients will attest. You can get it all for only 1.9%. The more value your home has, the more important it is to find the best real estate commission and the marketing ability to get top dollar. And with Century 21 behind us, that's what we have. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Hey y'all, it's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. Spent a lot of time pitching heat. Years later, the pain in my joints remind me of those days, but I'm not looking to sit still, and I definitely am not interested in going under the knife. That's why I chose QC Kinetics.
Not just for elite retired athletes. QC Kinetics gives everyday folks joint pain relief using regenerative treatments that work with your body to help repair joint damage.
No surgery, no long recovery, whether it's your knees, hips, shoulders, or back. My friends at QC Kinetics will help you get moving again so you can get back to doing the things you love.
QC Kinetics medical professionals will look at your x-rays or MRI to determine if you're a good candidate.
I trusted QC Kinetics to help me feel like myself again, and I'm proud to recommend them to you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. 414-667-5559.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Bucks won their second in a row, beating the Golden State Warriors 120-110. Bucks wrap up their homestand Saturday against the Sacramento Kings. It's a bye week for the Badgers. They'll next play Washington November 8th at Camp Randall. Green Bay will host the Carolina Panthers on Sunday, and the Toronto Blue Jays are one win away from a World Series title. Game 6 tonight in Toronto. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Just a couple of disabled vehicles. Actually, one is cleared off. Is disabled vehicle on the exit to Appleton Avenue from 41 North, but it looks like that has been cleared off. There is still one blocking the right shoulder, I-43 south at Beecher. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Scattered showers this afternoon and this evening after a high of 52. That chance for rain overnight. Low 37 overnight. Scattered showers on Saturday with a high 48, and a chance for afternoon or evening showers on Sunday after a high of 52. Then increasing sunshine on Monday, 57, partly cloudy, and 58 on Tuesday. 45 in Madison, 49 in Green Bay, 44 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
Well, welcome back to the 11 o'clock hour of Point Taken. Finishing out the next half hour with the guys, Joe Zepecki and Bill McCoshen. Let's spend a little time on Wisconsin. We had a new Marquette poll come out on Wednesday. The headline, I think, is most voters don't know anything about these, enough about any of the candidates for governor to say who they're going to vote for a year
Is
from
anybody
now.
listening, or are we just talking amongst ourselves?
I know, right? But I wanted to get your guys' main takeaways, anything you learned from this poll that was interesting, surprising, or thoughts on where we go from here.
The only thing that jumped out to me, I told you guys this, is that for years, school funding referenda at the local level have had like more than an 80% success rate because people really want their schools to be good. And so for years, Marquette has been asking this question about, like, what would you prefer, or what would your choice be between, lower property taxes or more funding for public schools? And for the first time in years, the majority has flipped. And now people are more concerned about their property taxes and would prefer those to be lower, even if it comes at the expense of public schools. And with that, so that surprises me, and I think it's noteworthy because it's a shift. It also tells me people are really concerned about the economy, right? It's not asking people, are you concerned? It's them like, not telling you, it's showing you that they are concerned enough about their finances that they are like kind of going to ground, more focused on their own pocketbook, and that can be a leading indicator for what I believe will happen, which is the economy is going to continue to struggle going forward.
Do you think it's at all, I don't know how we would prove this, but do you think it's all, there's also just less kids and there's less people with kids. And so as we see the declining number of how many kids are enrolled in schools, that also indicates that there's less parents of kids in schools. And so it's like the change of, I don't want my property taxes to go up for kids I don't have.
Yeah, and this is layered and complex, right? Like if you don't have kids, but you are a homeowner in a school district, you still want that school to be good because that makes your house more attractive for somebody to buy at some point, right? And so it's multi-layered, but it's a fair question. I just think it has more to do with economic concerns than it does our declining birth rate.
I think you're right on that, but don't forget, many of us, including Oak Creek Franklin School District, we've been bombarded with these things. It's the biggest part of our property tax bill. And oh, by the way, they want more money because now they're building 2 new pools in Oak Creek. And while I love my school, I live right by it. It's like enough is enough.
There's a fatigue here, in part because the state has, for a very long time, more than a decade, failed to adequately keep up with the needs of public education, and it has forced more of these local referenda. So you've got districts that in the last 10 years have done 2 or 3 of them. A lot of times they'll show up, and if they fall short the first time, they'll come back because they're not getting the support from the state. I think that is going to be a big issue in the governor's race.
Quick prediction, those numbers are going to get worse. More people are going to feel more opposed to these referenda when they get their December property tax bills because the legislature and the governor in their grand bargain did not include any increase in school aids. So they didn't, quote unquote, buy down what's coming. There is a tsunami coming in December, and I think taxpayers are going to freak out. My takeaway from the poll was I think we have 10 people, 2 on the Republican side, 8 on the Democratic side, who are figuring out this is a big state. And it takes a long time and a lot of money to ultimately build name ID. None of them have any substantial name ID on either side. Tom Tiffany had let's call it a 2.5x lead over Josh Schoeman, but they were both under 30. 71% of Republican primary voters can't make a decision today. There's 280 days until the primary. It was 81% of Democrats who couldn't make a decision, and Fran Hong was in the lead at 6%. I'll remind you what I said at the top of the show. The margin of error in the poll was 5. Yeah. So the truth is...
on the Democratic primary, it was 6.9.
Yeah. So the truth is anybody could be, a shade above on the Democratic side, but this is a long, long slog. And the next line of demarcation for me are the January finance reports.
We had both Tom Tiffany and Josh Schoeman on the show in the last week. And we asked, I don't think we asked Congressman Tiffany, but we certainly asked Josh Schoeman the differences between the two. How would you assess their differences?
They're not, well, there's some obvious ones. Josh is 24 years younger than Tom. Tom has been in the state legislature and in the Congress. Josh has been a county executive. I'd say they're relatively similar on the conservative scale. I would say they're both consistent conservatives that would be reliable for Republican-based voters.
How would they separate? I guess because you're going to have some degree of...
I think the separator is going to be name ID, to be honest with you.
And just money raised.
And money raised. And that's where Tiffany's got the early advantage because he's got a base of 760,000 people. There's 140,000 in Washington County, so Josh's is much smaller. But Josh is not only younger, but he lives near where the primary votes come from. So if he focuses on those counties, anything can happen in 280 days.
There are more likely to be sharp elbows and contrasts in the Democratic primary for governor than in the
100%.
Republican one.
What's Mandela Barnes up to?
I don't know.
You're not tapped into that campaign?
It seems like he's gearing up to go. His PAC put out a poll this week that showed him beating both Tiffany and Michaels in a hypothetical race next year. I'm not sure you do that if you've decided you're not doing it.
Yeah, I saw those polls. I don't think so. But anyway, I could be wrong. Not a Democrat. All right, Bill McCosh, Joseph Pecky, Kristin Brey, Steve Scaffidi. After the break, we love this segment. I hope you do too. Say something nice. Next. Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scaffidi and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handle all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service in just 2 days. My roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
Spend an evening with Wisconsin's longest-serving governor, Tommy Thompson. Hear firsthand the insights and wisdom he gained during his decades of public service. As governor of Wisconsin, U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services, and president of the University of Wisconsin System. Join this moderated discussion at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, Wednesday, November 5th at 7 p.m. The event is free, but you do need to acquire a ticket at uwm.edu/Thompson Lecture. That's uwm.edu/Thompson Lecture. Sponsored by the Thompson Center for Public Leadership.
At Gruber Law Offices, we've helped tens of thousands of families after a serious accident. Our priority has always been our clients. We're here for you whenever you may need us. One call, that's all.
Hey, think you're the ultimate trivia champ?
Well, prove it against us, your favorite WTMJ host.
It's free to play. All we ask is bring a new unwrapped toy to benefit Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive.
Or you can donate at WTMJ.com. Just text TOY to the WTMJ Talk and Text line.
855-616-1620.
Grab your friends. Test your smarts. All while helping a great cause.
It's the WTMJ Trivia Challenge, coming to a place near you.
Check out the schedule of where we will be at WTMJ.com.
Yeah. You keep saying your side is better. It's time to say something nice about the other side of the political aisle on Point Taken.
Come on, people now, smile on your blood.
We can be nice to each other, right, Kristin?
We're always nice.
We are. This group gets along. We get it.
Steve's been a little grouchy today.
That you can play into that if you want to. But everyone knows I'm a super nice guy. Super nice.
Super nice. Super duper.
Super nice.
Super fly, super nice. All right, who's starting?
I'm ready to go.
All right.
I will say something nice about Susan Collins, Mitch McConnell, Lisa Murkowski, and Rand Paul, the 4 Republican members of the United States Senate who voted, as the Congress should have been doing all along, to put an end to the tariffs that the Trump administration has levied against our neighbors to the north, Canada. It's right there in the Constitution, folks. The legislative body has a role to play in setting tariff policy, and it's a meaningless vote because Mike Johnson has said he's not doing anything. But week after week, I am here to lift up and recognize Republicans who are willing to buck a president of their own party. This week, it was those 4. Thank you.
That was going to be mine. So I'm trying to think of something else.
Whatever. All right.
I'm going to say something nice about Big John Fetterman, senator from Pennsylvania. I think I said this on the show last week. His family was staying at the same hotel I was in last week. I actually got to see him. I stood a couple feet away from him.
Hard to miss him.
He's a large man. I mean, he is a big man. Anyway, he's been willing to all week, actually for multiple weeks now, say it's time to end this shutdown. It's stupid. It's hurting people, especially tomorrow. He has some very pointed comments on X. You can find them that are, I think they're real. I think they're authentic, and I think it's one of the reasons he's still very popular in Pennsylvania and why Democrats will be unsuccessful in their attempt to take him out in a primary.
Mine is real quick. I saw this picture going around on social media. Congressman Mark Pocan and Congressman Glenn Grothman shared a picture. I think it was somewhere in D.C. The fact that these two can talk to each other, because they differ radically from each other on policy ideas and how they do their jobs. I love it when that can happen, because we see the dust-ups between Pocan and Van Orden, which are frankly scary sometimes. Like, that's the opposite side of this. So when I see examples of not necessarily bipartisanship, but two people understanding that at the basic level, you're just human beings trying to do your job and trying to do the right thing for people, I sort of appreciated that. So that's mine.
Well, Joe stole mine. I didn't have a backup.
No backup.
So.
Oh, you got time to fill. You better start using it.
I can't. Well, this is what when it becomes embarrassing, because you're like, oh,
this allows me to cram two things in my grab bag. Then,
yeah, but it's just like you would like to think that there is more than one thing each week, but maybe I just have to look a little harder.
Rand Paul continuing to say and do the right things when it comes to what's happening in Venezuela.
Yeah,
he's standing up to the Trump administration.
All right, since she's handed over her time, favorite Halloween candy that you want to receive?
I'm a big Three Musketeers fan.
Ooh,
I also like a Milky Way.
Snickers.
Skittles. I mean, I like all candy.
I'm the outlier. I love licorice. especially for
Black
Halloween.
licorice or red licorice?
Both.
Ooh.
Love them. Cherry, strawberry, just the regular old black licorice. I
The
love them
texture,
all.
you like the texture?
Yeah, it lasts longer. Than you give because in most places, and we were talking about this before, you get the little tiny.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one bite for me. Come on, I'll be honest. Maybe in my old days, maybe not now. But you were talking about something that I really appreciate. It's that thing where some homes give out the full size candy bars. Oh my God!
Are you stealing his thunder?
He's stealing my grab bag.
All right.
I'm gonna do
That's
it
a
anyway.
tease. That's a tease.
I stole Kristen. Say something nice.
Yeah, so we're just all stealing each other's
Bill's.
business. All right, we'll take an early break. After the break, actually, I have a sad one, so hopefully I won't buzzkill that whole thing. Anyway, 11:20, 620 WTMJ, Kristin, Steve, Bill, and Joe on a Friday right here on 620 WTMJ.
And what's with the parents dressing up? Are you kidding me? Since when do adults need a matching costume set? We're all going as Marvel characters. No, you're 48, Gary. You're not Thor. You're Saw. The only thing you should be lifting is your kids' candy and costumes. Now? Outrageous.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
What makes Hasselus mattress different?
Aside from employee-free showrooms, free next-day delivery and haul away, and way too low prices on Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta Perfect Sleeper?
Yeah, besides that.
Well, Hasselus is locally owned.
You mean your franchise is locally owned?
We're not a franchise. Every showroom is owned and managed by the same family. So, when you shop at Hasselus, your money stays right here. And through Monday, our family wants to give you a $248 credit towards a new Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta Perfect Sleeper just for shopping local.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Our 43 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393.
I like that.
Try and buy with no pushy sales guy.
I love that.
Free next day delivery too.
Thanks.
For what?
For being different.
Shop local and enjoy a $248 credit through Monday at Hasselus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find a no-hassle, employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
Does your bathroom belong in a haunted house? Or maybe it's just time for a refresh. WTMJ and Sidex are back with the Beautiful Bathroom Contest. One lucky listener will win a tub or shower conversion valued up to $10,000. It's easy. Snap a pic of your scary shower, terrifying tub, or even just one you're tired of. And enter now at WTMJ.com. Sidex makes it easy to go from fright to fabulous.
You ever see the sign above the highway? The number of people that have been killed on the road? My wife, my son, and my unborn child were killed by a distracted driver. They were more than just a number.
Your phone isn't worth it. Buckle up, phone down. Brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max from What's on Tap. Join me at Taste of Botanas at the original Botanas restaurant for a night of fun on Thursday, November 20th, 6 till 7 p.m. Enjoy a guided tequila tasting, margarita samples, appetizers, hors d'oeuvres, and tacos, all for $30. Try 4 exclusive tequilas and learn about the different types and best food pairings. This is a Max experience you won't want to miss. Taste of Botanas is a one-night-only event on Thursday, November 20th, 6 till 7 p.m. The original Botanas restaurant on 5th Street, Mi Casa es Su Casa at Botanas.
Academic Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it hard to fight flu, pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
All right, since we got most of the politics out of our systems, let's finish up with some grab bags.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, who would like to go first?
I'm going to try and take stuff 2 in here because they're good. Pro tip, it is Halloween. Happy Halloween to all the listeners out there and all the little kiddies. Have fun. I'm going to give you a pro tip. Steve mentioned it in the tease.
Mm-hmm.
Give out full-size candy bars.
In this economy?
This story is related. You can get them at Costco.
Stop stepping
This
on
story
his grab bag.
is related to my neighborhood, and my children grew up in the same neighborhood as Coach Barry Alvarez. Barry lived 2 blocks from us. My kids love to go to his house for Halloween, not because Barry was the coach of the Badgers, but because Barry gave out full-size candy bars. Every kid in Seminole Hills and Fitchburg wanted to go to Barry Alvarez's house to get the full-size candy bars. So Bill McCoshen will be the guy greeting you at the door tonight in Verona, and you will be receiving a full-size candy bar.
In costume?
Sweet.
You will no, I will not be in costume. My second one, I'll get to it very quickly. I posted about this yesterday. Waukesha County Executive Paul Farrow, good friend of mine. I've known the whole family for a very long time. He's overcoming cancer. He gave probably the most remarkable political speech I've ever heard. Yesterday at GE Healthcare, they announced a $100 million expansion with a construction of a customer experience center. Paul not only talked about how important GE Healthcare is to Waukesha County and then southeast Wisconsin, but he tied it back to himself, saying, I've used all of your equipment, whether it's MRIs, PET scans, ultrasounds. He's been involved in all of that on his cancer journey, and he was able to tie that together, including the fact that his oldest brother, John, has worked at the company for 46 years. It was a remarkable speech. When I get a copy of it, I'll post it. You want to see it.
Paul Farrow, good guy.
Watch House of Dynamite. Nuclear is in the news this week. It is a very important film and a very well done film. That's my recommendation for the week. And good luck to all the teams playing tonight in level 2 of the WIAA
Go
football
Whitnall.
playoffs.
Oh, Whitnall.
Yeah, you got all falconed up today. Love it.
Layered.
Are you in the mix for the UW-Madison job, you think?
No.
Joseph
I hear you come cheap.
That's true.
All right, Chris.
Do you want to start with a sad one or end with a happy one?
I'll do mine.
Okay.
My good friend and former business partner, Chris Belmer, died last week, 62 years old. He was an awesome dude, funny as heck. Every time we went ice fishing or just golfed, he was always the hit of the party. And every time, this is a cliche, but every time he walked in the room got more fun and excited. That's how he was. And the sad part is he just built a new home in the Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee area. Him and his lovely wife, Brenda, just moved into it, and he never got to enjoy that, never got to really enjoy his retirement. So that message that you and I have talked about, Bill, a lot is, man, don't wait. Celebrate your life. Have fun. Take the trips. Talk to people you haven't talked to in a while. Don't miss those connections. Because I hadn't talked to Chris in about a month and a half, and thankfully one of my other good friends had just talked to him last week, and he was in good spirits. So I will miss you, Chris, and Brenda, we'll be thinking about you, but he was a great human being. There's not enough of the Chris Belmers of the world, so I will miss him dearly.
So on the other side of the circle of life, in the last week, in the same friend group, I have had 3 friends who gave birth to all healthy babies. Moms
Cranking
are healthy.
those babies out.
And in one case, 2 who are best friends, as like a couple, both friends are best friends, and they live down the street from each other. And one was not due for another 3 weeks. She went into labor, was it Wednesday night? And Emily went in to get induced the next day. And so the babies are born within 15 hours of each other.
Wow.
Literally, Emily, while she was in labor, got to meet Savario. And so in our friend group now, we got 3 little newborns, and it is very fun. Frankie is a big fan of babies, so she's very excited to be a pseudo big sister. And I'm happy that they're all healthy and that everything went great.
That's the best thing.
That's wonderful. Frankie, also a fan of sneaking behind someone's head and just going airborne over. I had to literally catch the Frankster
last
weekend.
Sunday. That's a fun story about Frankie. So at daycare, her teacher said, Frankie, if you know, I am tall, my husband is tall. Frankie, not a small potato.
Big kid.
Her teacher said, so does Frankie like hug you from behind sometimes? And I go, yeah. And she goes, okay. She goes, she does that to friends in class. And we weren't really clear if it was aggression or affection. And she doesn't know how big she is. So we're going to work on that. I go, okay, noted.
All right, we got about a minute left. So I asked about your favorite Halloween candy. If we were all dressing up today for Halloween, which I'm not, and you probably are somewhere doing
Later
something.
today.
What would your costume be?
I went to Spirit Halloween's website, and I was thinking about surprising you with a costume. I would have gone as an American revolutionary. It is a time to be thinking about this and American patriots and what that means.
You tied it all together. Bill McCoshen.
I don't know.
When's the last time you were in costume?
a long time ago.
Same as me. I'm talking like 30-some years.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just think about what would you go up? What would you go up?
Hockey player's the easiest because I
That's
got
right.
all the stuff.
Sometimes you go with what you got.
Yeah, I got all the stuff.
You know, you put a baseball cap on and some jersey, and that's what you go as.
Yeah.
You don't know what I know
no, our family's going as a league of their own. But I'll quickly say, since we have about a minute, the best Halloween costume I ever had. So I still worked in tech, and I worked in sales at a B2B, like Silicon Valley startup. And almost all of the guys I managed a team of 10 sales development guys, the entire sales team, all guys, and they all basically looked the same. They all had the same haircut. They were all white guys between like 5'10" and 6'2". I dressed as a sales bro, and legit, people thought I was a new hire because I'm tall. And so girls who were working in HR on like the loft level were looking down and were like,
Who's the new
guy?
Well
to
played.
this day is the best costume I ever did.
All right, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll do it again next week. We're sticking around after the break. Dan Bice is going to join us announcing a new segment on our weekly program. So we got local news before we get to that. ABC.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. President Trump, in a string of social media posts, is now calling on the Senate Republicans to kill the filibuster. That would allow Republicans to end the government shutdown without a single Democratic vote. It comes as funding for SNAP federal food assistance and other critical programs for millions of Americans runs out at midnight. ABC News Washington managing editor Catherine Falders says so far the Trump administration will not use emergency funds to fund SNAP further.
They originally said that they could tap those funds. Now they're saying they can't tap those emergency funds. And it was interesting to see this play out in federal court, where one of the judges who was hearing a case related to SNAP benefits said it's hard to see how this isn't an emergency. Republicans are just saying that the funds aren't there, that they can't tap into them.
Hurricane Melissa now being blamed for at least 19 deaths in Jamaica. Officials say that toll is expected to rise as they reach devastated areas. Melissa, meantime, pushing out further in the Atlantic after grazing Bermuda last night. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:31. I'm Connie Weber. Government shutdown at risk of furloughing close to 100 child care providers and leaving hundreds of Wisconsin families without someone to watch their kids who are currently in Head Start programs. Those in Sheboygan and southwest Wisconsin at risk of shutting down. More could follow if the government doesn't reopen. More than $240 million helps fund Wisconsin's 39 Head Start programs. Quick thinking by a student leads to the arrest of a man with a gun near Fond du Lac High School. A student reported the man was near a school pond, had a gun in his waistband. This happened Thursday afternoon. The man fled when approached by police and was later arrested. A handgun and a loaded magazine were found near the pond. After slashing its outlook for the year and shaking up its executive ranks, Milwaukee-based Fiserv saw its stock price plunge Wednesday, dropping 44%, biggest one-day fall on record and a 7-year low for its share price. Stock's currently down about 65% for the year. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Up arrows again on Wall Street. Dow up 29 points, 47,551. Nasdaq up 167 at 23,748. S&P 500 up 20 at 6,843. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Just a little bit of slowing on I-41. This is going to be southbound from Highway Q to the zoo. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. We have rain in the forecast pretty much through Sunday. Scattered showers possible this afternoon and this evening. High today 52. Chance of rain overnight with a low 37. Scattered showers possible tomorrow with a high 48. Chance of afternoon showers on Sunday, a high 52. Increasing sunshine on Monday then with a high 57. And partly cloudy and 58 on Tuesday. 45 in Madison, 49 in Green Bay, 44 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:33.
Hey, moms, dads, grandparents, celebrate Halloween today with your kids at the Mine Shaft Family Restaurant in Hartford. John Mercure here from WTMJ. I absolutely love the Mine Shaft. One of our favorite places. It's super affordable and a ton of fun for the kids. I took my kids there. The Halloween decorations are awesome, and the staff will be in costume. Bring your kids in their costumes today. The Friday, all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry is $7.99. You don't need to pay $16 or more. Don't do it. your kids can safely play in the huge game room, quietly tucked away from the dining area while you finish up your dinner, maybe have an after-dinner cocktail. Kids menu starts at $3.99. Relax with an old-fashioned, a cold brew, or a glass of wine. It's the weekend. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh near the EAA. Check out the Friday all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry, $7.99. Big value. The Saturday all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet is under $10. It's the amazing Mine Shaft. Happy Halloween.
I give up.
What's wrong?
I've been doing everything wrong at home. I washed the red towels with the white bed sheets. I left all the kitchen cabinet doors open. I wiped out the hydrangeas with the weed whacker.
Hey, we all make mistakes.
But darn it, my wife still isn't mad at me.
Wait, hold on. You're doing these things on purpose?
Yeah.
Why?
So I can sleep on the couch.
Let me guess. The James sofa from Penny Mustard?
Bingo.
With the extra deep seats.
And ultra high density foam cushions?
Remove the back cushions, and it's almost like you're sleeping on a twin bed.
Twin bed? Exactly.
Let me get this straight. You're trying to make your wife mad, so she'll make you sleep on the sofa?
The James sofa, yes.
I gotta admit, it's a pretty good plan.
The James sofa, American-made with a solid wood fortress frame and hundreds of fabric and leather options, starting at $22.96 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
11:35 on this Friday edition. We don't usually have guests in the 11:35 spot, but this is a good one. He is now going to be part of a new segment, weekly segment on our Monday show. He being the guy from the Journal Sentinel's Watchdog team, columnist, journalist Dan Bice, we should say. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for inviting me.
And I'm geeked about this because I have a ton of respect for what you do and how you write. And I think we've had you on, obviously, we've had you on the show before. To be a part of the Monday lineup, we have Matt Smith, who does sort of the TV side. And then I wanted somebody from the world of journalism who writes about big stories, probably like nobody else in the state of Wisconsin. Why are you excited about it?
I don't know. It's a different format from what I traditionally do. I do like doing radio.
You're good at it.
I like radio better than TV, but that's because no one sends me notes. Anytime I do TV, national TV, I can be guaranteed that someone's going to send me a note saying, "You don't have a 4-head, you have a 5-head."
Oh, no.
I sort of have the same problem.
No,
so yeah.
but it happens every time. The funny thing is, when you do TV, people feel like there's a level of intimacy. And, I mean, you probably had some of this where they'll send you notes. I know people who've gotten really nasty notes from around the country, people who don't have any idea who they are, saying, "Why are you doing TV? You look terrible," or "You need to lose 10 pounds." And that sort of thing is just funny because you think you're on there to make a point, but everyone's actually evaluating how you look.
I mean, I would say we work with some women who obviously worked in local news for a long time, and just the double standard of what women have to wear and look like when they're just trying to do the news versus the pass the men get and getting to wear the same suit every day.
I know one female reporter who her hair's a little kinky and she gets ripped on that all the time, and it's just a funny thing.
It'd be hilarious to see what these people who are writing the emails actually look like.
Well, you don't want to know.
Well, I mean, part of it is I think I have a thick skin because of what I've done in my life, but
right.
I still get, you're fat, the texts come in every occasion, not as many as I used to.
How much do you lose?
About 45 pounds, but
Okay.
I mean, I still get the you're fat stuff. I just kind of let it, slide, but
I just get the 4-head thing. I
love that this is the conversation that we're having right now.
I did
appearance
get one
on the radio.
I did for a while. Somebody spread the word that I was Jewish, which I'm not. And so people started posting anti-Semitic stuff for a while about me. And then someone posted a picture of my 3 kids in an oven, like a concentration camp thing. And so I had to put out a thing, guys, stop this or whatever, because I didn't, it's funny. It was good for me to see how nasty the anti-Semitism turns. And then it turned out they were like, "Well, your publisher's Jewish." And it was Betsy Brenner at the time. And I said, "She is." And then they started it up again. And so I was like, yeah, this is nasty. But I mean, most of the time it's funny. And I will respond to some of the people. And sometimes you can tell when they're drunk, which is fun.
Other than the appearance stuff, when you write a piece on politics or elected official or a candidate, like how much feedback do you get on the substance of the story?
It all depends. And I've given up trying to predict the sort of response you get. I mean, I'll take the most recent thing I wrote that got a lot of response was the Bill Berrien story.
Right.
And so when I wrote that on Saturday, I went to a Badgers game and I hadn't run yet. It was on, and his campaign team called me and we're trying to tinker. They said, "What's the story?" So I gave them an outline. I said, "This is what it's going to say," and we went through line by line. And then I told him finally, no matter how many changes I do, you're going to hate it. It's going to come out Monday. Everybody here's on board. It's going to run. And that one ended up getting, I think it was like 35,000 hits, which is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then AP picked it up, and then it went national, then it went international. And I started getting calls from all around the world. I got calls from Australia and other people. And then the porn star Jiz Lee called, and it picked up from there. I didn't expect him to drop out as quickly as he did. Several terms ago, there was a candidate named Andy Gronick that had written a lot of stories, and it took him a while to figure out that he wasn't going to win after it did that stuff. So you have those, but then you have others where you just don't know. I mentioned this to a couple of people that our stories on the food share stuff just aren't, and the food stamp stuff just aren't getting the hits, and I think it's because it's not affecting most of our readers. I think are middle class, and we're writing a lot about the vulnerable people, about children, elderly people, and stuff. And I think until it hits the middle class, people won't read that sort of stuff. And I think it'll be interesting that when the Obamacare stuff hits, because that does include some members of the middle class, and I think that'll come home. But so far, it's not been, people have not been on the streets protesting. And it was funny to me to when I was thinking about this, that you can get people protesting just about anything. I mean, for like when Hannah Dugan got charged, there were 200 people out in front of the federal courthouse. And right now you're talking about children not being able to get food stamps, and where are the protests?
I think the answer is it hasn't happened yet to the degree that it will.
In anticipation of the thing.
Real quick, you're going to bring in special guests with you on occasion.
I'm going to bring in, I'll bring in like Mary Spicuzza, another reporter at the Journal-Sentinel, who's been in here with me. Bill Glauber, retired Journal-Sentinel reporter. We were the political team for 15 years together and know too much about each other. So, he'll come on with me, and but other times it'll just be the three of us.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. So next Monday at 10:35 after the news, Dan Bice, Journal-Sentinel, and this week it'll be Mary Spicuzza will join us as well.
She told me she was coming, so
the news is the news. Sometimes these guys get taken away because they got a deadline.
I'm looking forward to it. Dan, well-respected journalist in our town. Thanks for joining the team on Monday.
Okay,
appreciate it. We're kicking you out of here. We got other stuff to do. All right, thanks. We'll take a quick break here on Point Taken on this Friday edition. Kristin and Steve, 620 WTMJ.
It's cruise deal season at Fox World Travel, and these savings are making waves. Set sail in style with exclusive offers from top cruise lines like Viking, Avalon Waterways, Princess Cruises, Celebrity, and Holland America. Ocean or river, Europe or Caribbean, we've got extra savings and special perks just for you. These deals won't stay afloat forever. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com before they sail away.
Hey, it's WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi for Advent. What's the story? It changed my life. It changed my sleep life. No more snoring, no more tossing and turning, none of the tired stuff that used to get the grouchy Steve, the real grouchy Steve. To put it simply, my nose wasn't working properly. I went to Advent as a customer and a client, 30 minutes. Talked through all the issues. They put me at ease. They did a really simple sleep study at home with me in my bed. They determined root cause of the problem, sinuses, nasal passages, breathing triangle. After a short procedure done, less than 30 minutes in one of their great offices, great facilities, back to breathing better than ever. And here's the cool part. I sleep through the whole night, and I don't snore. My wife, Kathy, really appreciates that. Let's put it that way, because I sleep through the whole night. I wake up rested and refreshed. Sound good? If you struggle like I used to, take the time to see how Advent can help you. To find out breathing well and sleeping well can make your nights better, go to adventknows.com and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved. But here, you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
This message reaches 1 million people or more every week. Spreading the gospel is more than one voice speaking to 1 million. It is and must continue to be 1 million voices, each speaking to one, pointing them to our friend Jesus.
The Lutheran Hour with Dr. Michael Ziegler.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
The Fox and Hound Supper Club near Holy Hill is now serving dinner at 3 p.m. Monday through Saturday through October 31st. Buy one dinner, get one free. Witness the spectacular fall colors of the Kettle Moraine Forest. Google the Fox and Hounds restaurant.
And you know what the best part of Halloween used to be? The next day. Yeah. Trading candy with your friends at school. I'll give you 2 Tootsie Rolls for Reese's. Deal. Now, kids got allergies, gluten intolerance, nut-free zones. Half the candy's gone before they even start. I got more restrictions reading a frickin' Halloween candy label than my last car loan.
Little Vic DiBettetto found it on Facebook.
How did you find this guy?
Popped up in one of those reels.
Oh,
and he
all
does bits on everything, classic. I think he's Brooklyn, classic New Yorker. It speaks to me. It spoke to me.
Yeah, apparently.
Maybe we should put it on a newsletter. What do you think?
We could.
We probably should.
Yeah, we should put it in the newsletter, which is
people are
coming
asking.
out. Yeah, it's coming out this Sunday. We're going to finish up wrapping things up this week and put it in the newsletter. If you've missed our announcement this week that we've been talking about, Extra Points, new newsletter from Steve and I coming out Sunday mornings. If you would like to subscribe, 855-616-1620. Shoot us a text with the word extra. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see the feedback that we get as far as what people find valuable, how many people click through to listen to the podcast, if they missed an episode or missed an interview. But yeah, we're very open to feedback as far as what's working, what's not working with the newsletter. And we're excited to get it started.
I'm super geeked about it, and I think it's like a one source for all the links to all the things we do, not only on the show, but like I said, the You Need to Listen podcast, my podcast, some of the JS stuff, Journal Sentinel's work you do. And
if I ever get back to posting my own social media videos, we'll link to those.
Oh, you're a busy person. But it's going to come on Sunday into your inbox, and it's not going to be especially verbose. It's real quick. Here's the headlines. Here's the stuff we talked about. Here's the interviews that maybe we're going to feature, and all the links are there. I love the fact that it's a new way to do what we already do, right? And it's a
repackaging.
Yeah, but it's also, I think, maybe you may disagree. It's sort of a peek behind the curtain, what we're thinking about as we sort of put our shows together.
I think it's that. I also think it's what we thought was the best parts of each show.
Yeah. Because we do a synopsis
to highlight
each day.
And be able to send. Other thing I think is also good as far as we read so much for the show, and being able to hyperlink to the articles we read in preparation for the topics that we're talking about. So on Monday, when we talked about the editorial for the New York Times talking about moderates winning in the last election, and that the case for being more moderate and that the partisans are wrong, being able to share a gift link to that, because sometimes those things are paywalled.
Yeah.
And so if you want to go read the New York Times coverage of that, we'll be able to link to that in the newsletter, because sometimes that's hard to get set up every day for the show.
And it's an easy process. Just text the word extra, EXTRA, to 855-616-1620. We asked 4 questions: name, zip, email. I think that's it, right?
That's it.
Come on. And read it, feedback. Even if
what should our show poll be this week?
I threw one on there, but I'm not sure.
I don't think that's the most topical.
No,
what do you think the most topical show poll is for the week? You're used to do this every day. Well, if you had a daily poll today, what would it have been?
It'd be shutdown related.
All right.
How worried are you about the government shutdown continuing past 31 days or whatever it is today, 30 days?
All right. That seems like an easy one to throw in for today.
Yeah, and you'll be able to vote because all those fans of my old show and the show poll, which I did every day for like 3 years, here's your opportunity.
Why'd you stop doing it?
I don't know. Just I like to keep it moving. Status quo is not my thing. I like to bust it up a little bit, unless you're talking about Halloween tradition.
Do you like to bust a move?
No.
Are you not a dancer at the wedding?
I'm not a dancer,
at a wedding,
no,
you're
no.
like
I'm a
sit
cigar.
back?
Like last wedding I was just at 2 weeks ago. I smoke a cigar. I have a drink or two.
No, Kathy can't get you the dance floor.
Oh, slow dance. Yeah, I couldn't resist that. Kidding me?
Who could?
No, I couldn't. You see my wife.
It's fair.
Hello.
Beautiful.
Hello. All right, we'll take a break. Last break of the Friday show right here on 620 WTMJ.
Tune in to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
State of Wisconsin joining a lawsuit against the Trump administration urging emergency funds to be used to support the federal food assistance program.
Bringing you the latest in news, sports, traffic, and weather every weekday from noon until 3 p.m.
Preventing foreign adversaries like China and Russia from targeting the Banter State. That's the goal of Safeguard Wisconsin.
Only on WTMJ.
Hey, this is WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi from Milwaukee Weight Loss. I've told the story so many times, but I never get tired of talking about them. Milwaukee Weight Loss helped me lose the weight, 45 pounds as of today. None of the trendy stuff, none of the shots or the meds or the meals, bars, shakes, just willpower, calorie reduction, but they help you through that journey. And we do it quickly. Most people lose 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks. I lost 30 pounds in 2 months. Many patients, just like me, you can make it happen. And it's possible. And it's not the trendy stuff, as I said, and you can stop the yo-yo and all the weird things that people are doing with diets now. It's just smarter, faster, safer, because it's all natural, way to lose weight. So here's what you got to do. This is the easy start for you. Free consultation. What do you got to do? MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com or call 262-393-2334. I'll go slower. 262-393-2334. Find out how it can change your life. Change mine. It works for you as well. MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
I know why you continue to live in pain. It's because you don't believe anything can be done to help. Maybe you bought into something and you've been burned before. I mean, your skepticism. It's understandable. This is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. And here we use powerful, anti-inflammatory, and cushioning pharmacological medicines to ease your pain. They're FDA approved, and most medical insurance is going to pay for our treatments, including Medicare and Medicaid. And that's the litmus test. Because if insurance has shown to cover the cost of many of our patients' treatments, you can be sure it's valid medicine. It's not a biological treatment considered experimental or some new gimmick that's trying to hook you. The Rejuvenex approach to pain relief is legitimate. It helps to alleviate pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. And from what we've seen, it gives people a new lease on their lives.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Call today, and there's a good chance we'll see you tomorrow.
Does your bathroom belong in a haunted house? Or maybe it's just time for a refresh. WTMJ and Sidex are back with the Beautiful Bathroom Contest. One lucky listener will win a tub or shower conversion valued up to $10,000. It's easy. Snap a pic of your scary shower, terrifying tub, or even just one you're tired of. And enter now at WTMJ.com. Sidex makes it easy to go from fright to fabulous.
Spice up your workday at the original Botanas on 5th Street. Enjoy flavorful and affordable Mexican lunch specials, always made fresh and served fast with a free cup of soup. Authentic taste, local favorite. Mi casa es su casa at Botanas.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
So yeah, Halloween today looks great, but you can keep it. You know what? I'll take my plastic mask, my cheap costume, my sore feet, and my half-melted Hershey bar any day. Because back then, we didn't need fog machines and LED pumpkins. We had imagination and cavities.
See, I think this is your Halloween costume. Just dress as
Vic Di Potato?
Di Potato.
Yeah.
He's like a 50,000 followers on X.
Yeah,
Or
he's
Twitter.
funny. He's funny.
He is very funny. American comedian.
He is a comedian, professional comedian?
Professional comedian.
I was just hoping he's a regular guy.
No, he does this for a living.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we have a special guest next week.
I know. I'm excited. So I think it was actually from a listener who, when I forgot what the topic was. We were talking about comedians, political comedians, and someone suggested that reminded me that Trey Crowder, who is referred to as the liberal redneck because he has a pretty thick Tennessee accent.
He's from the South, yeah.
But has been doing comedy for 15 some years. He's going to be in Milwaukee at Turner's Hall next Friday, November 7th. He's going to be in Madison, November 8th at Barrymore Theater. And we did a pre-record with him. So we're going to air that on Tuesday, talking about political comedy, making a point versus making a joke, the differences between doing things on social media versus on stage. It was a great conversation.
And we even asked him about trips to Wisconsin and what that's like. And
I know. He wouldn't tell us his Wisconsin jokes because he wanted to save it for the show.
He did share it. I'm not going to give it to you because you can hear it when we do the interview on the show, but he told about an exchange he had with I think it was a waitress or something.
It was like within 10 minutes of landing in Wisconsin, a special thing happened.
The interesting thing about it, and I follow a lot of comedians. I wasn't aware of Trey Crowder, really.
Well, now you've seen some of his stuff.
Yeah,
You think
he's funny. He's very funny. Now, of course, because of the magic of algorithms, all of his stuff pops up on my feeds all the time, and he's super funny. And we did talk about comedians and doing politics, but I don't know if there's a lot of examples of people like him. The liberal redneck, that combination is not a common one because typically redneck goes with conservative, right? And there's tons of examples of those.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like the cable guy, isn't he? Wouldn't he fall in that Larry the Cable Guy? He's probably redneck conservative, right? I would think so.
Who are some of the other conservative comics that you like?
Dennis Miller.
Dennis Miller was a popular one. I would say Bill Maher's kind of all over the place. He used to be more liberal than he is now.
Well, he calls himself a libertarian, which I don't even know if he's that anymore.
I still think he's libertarian. Do you not?
Yeah, probably, I guess. I don't know. He's mixed. He offends everybody. We told the story.
Who's the guy who's the Late Show on Fox? Guthrie?
Gutfeld.
Greg
Gutfeld.
Is he funny?
I don't find him that funny. And he is a stand-up comic, right?
I don't know. I don't know his background.
Someone who I don't watch him much, but if someone knows, just text us.
That's a good prompt to end the show with. If you have conservative comics that you like,
let me know.
Let us know. 855-616-1620, because then maybe we can try to get them on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to always do things differently. We love breaking up the status quo and doing things not in the typical talk radio, or as I like to say, squawk radio. All right, have a great weekend on your whatever Halloween
Did
adventure.
you get king-size candy bars to hand out tonight?
We had our Halloween last week.
Oh,
and
you just have a chill night at home?
Tonight we're going to see the Springsteen movie.
Oh,
so very excited.
I'm excited to hear how that movie is.
I'm as a Springsteen fan, I'm very excited to see the movie. So I'm excited about that. We're going to have dinner somewhere. We haven't decided that yet. So just the wife and I, quiet evening outs.
Nice.
Yeah, date night, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
My parents are in town.
Oh.
So we're hanging out with them. They're making chili right now. I got pictures during the show that they carved a pumpkin. So we'll see what the design was when I get home later. And maybe I'll go meet some of those babies today.
All right. Meet those babies. Happy Halloween to all of you. News is next on 620 WTMJ.
How do you want your backyard to look? New deck, patio, shade area, pergola, fire pit, in-ground pool, outdoor kitchen, or all of it? Let Outdoor Living Unlimited design